Hey guys, how's it going? Well, guys, I got myself a new firearm today. It is something maybe you guys have not seen. Maybe you guys haven't seen this box before. But this is actually the Bersa Firestorm. Of course, it's a 380 clone PPK type of weapon. I know it looks exactly like the Thunder, and I'll explain to you guys the differences between the Thunder and the Firestorm. Of course, this weapon is clear. Okay, guys, there's no rounds in the chamber for all you safety Nazis out there. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the features of this gun. Very similar to the Thunder. The only main difference, obviously, is the key interlocking system that the Thunder has. Remember the little key that they usually would see there. Also, the frame is a little different. Where the trigger guard is, if you remember, it has a cut where you could place your fingers in there. Now, some people like that, some people don't like that. Mine does not happen to have that cut on the finger guard or trigger guard. So that's the other difference. Obviously, the dovetail sights is also very similar to the Glock. Of course, it's a 7+1. It's about 20 ounces in weight. Let me see what else we got here. Let me look at the specs real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Should have it down, but I'm not. Okay, so it's a 380 7+1. The barrel is 3.5 inches. Of course, it has the front side is dovetail. It has the notch bar sight dovetail. It's a matte black, rubber wrapped around grips, which is something I like, and I also like the finger grooves on it. Let me see. It's made of alloyed and steel side construction. It has a safety and auto firing pin, and is approximately about 20 ounces unloaded. 6.6 in length, 4.9 in height, and the width is 1.3 inches. So it is by far a great concealed carry option, and that's the reason why I decided to purchase this gun. I needed myself another concealed carry weapon. So let's talk a little bit about the features, guys. As you guys all know, that this is a safety disconnect. So therefore, if the magazine's off, even though it's on fire, it won't fire. Okay, but of course, if you put the magazine on there, it's gonna fire. All right. So now the other feature that it has here is that it has a safety decocker. Okay, as you guys can see, it does not fully sit on there where the next to the fire pin. Of course, it starts with a double trigger, and then afterwards it starts into double action, and it goes into single action. Of course, it's very similar to the Walther PPK clone. I like this weapon because it's really something that you can really put myself in a pocket. My other 380 that I have is the SIG 238. And for some reason, my daughter decided to like that gun a little too much, so I needed myself another pocket gun. Needed myself another gun that I could carry, and I do like the 380. I know it's not the greatest in the world, and I know a lot of people have a tendency of hating it, but I feel that it's a decent defensive round. Okay, guys. So let's talk about two things that I really don't like about this weapon. One happens to be the magazine disconnect button. As you can see, it does come out real good. It definitely it definitely releases the mag nice and smooth. But the problem is that for all right-handed shooters, it's really hard for them to get to that particular button there, and it's really tough. It's really you have to put a lot of pressure into it. So that's one of the things that I don't like about this. Of course, the other thing that I do not like about this is the fact that it has a disconnect, magazine disconnect when the magazine is not in there. That to me is it's a huge no-no because it's a defensive weapon, and in most cases that's what many of us would ever use this for. But of course, you guys have that option of taking that off if that's something you desire to do and later on. Okay, so of course it comes with a lock, and it comes with a instruction manual. The instruction manual is very detailed. Some of the things I don't like, it doesn't have a lot of pictures. And let's just face it, people like to see pictures, man, and it does not have much. It only has like maybe one or two, and it tells you how to disassemble and assemble the weapon. Okay, guys, it shows you a parts list, but everything else, it's very self-explanatory, which I can understand because it's not a weapon that is very difficult per se. And of course it has your warranty and limitations to it. It seems to me like Gander Mountain would be the place where you would send this to get fixed. Okay, and it does say right here that you need 200 to 300 rounds to break this weapon in. Okay, so when you first get this weapon, it's going to be a little tough on the controls and all that good stuff. So that's the reason why you definitely need to break this weapon in pretty good. But there's a lot of more good things of this weapon that I like compared to things that I don't like about this weapon. Of course, I've always been a big fan of the PPK, and I really like Bersa, and I started doing a little more research on this company. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm really big into history, and I really like to learn where things come from, how things come about. So basically, guys, Bersa got started back in the 1950s, and it was started by 3 Italian immigrants, and it was Benso Bonadimani, Ercole Montini, and Savino Caselli. All right, guys, and these guys all came from the Bersa factory. Of course, Montini worked in Beretta in Italy, so he was really good at figuring out a lot of the things that deal with the firearms, how they work, and all that good stuff. So that's how he ended up starting his company. Started making 22 rifles, worked his way up to different handguns and shotguns and all kinds of other stuff, which they became very well renowned. And it's something that they worked on very hard. Afterwards, in 1994, they decided to go into this type of platform, which is the Firestorm Versa Thunder. And the reason why they decided to do that is that during that time, the Argentine government decided to grant certain privileges for Argentine citizens, which is they could carry and own 380 weapons, such as this one. Those were the only weapons that they were allowed to carry. So of course this took off, like gangbusters, and it ended up becoming so popular that they decided to export it. And of course, this weapon happens to be their #1 seller to this day. And we're talking about a weapon that is made back in 1994. So this is something that's really good about this company. And the thing about it is that you have a lifetime warranty with this weapon. So they stand behind their product, guys. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of crappy stuff with this gun, even though the price is usually very low. But you can tell that the type of workmanship and quality that was put on this gun was excellent. I've shot this weapon before. A good friend of mine has one, and I loved it. Some of the things that I really love about it, and I'll show you guys real quick how to disassemble. Basically, all you got to do is just bring back this lever down, and then you got to push back, pull out, and then push out, pull out the slide here, and then it comes out. And as you guys can see, it's that easy to come out, guys. Of course, it's a fixed barrel, and I noticed that blowback design. I noticed that weapons that are just that simple, especially with the fixed barrel, have a tendency of becoming very accurate. And I know that a lot of people always love this about this weapon because it's such a accurate weapon. It has a tendency of you know, being known for that. So that's something that a lot of us really like about these type of weapons. And of course, it's a good carry concealed weapon that not only it's good for a lot of those that are you know, ladies. This will be a good weapon for you. Gentlemen that have a problems with arthritis and all kinds of stuff, or people that are just, you know, enthusiasts of the 380, or enthusiasts of a you know, Italian, European style type of weapon. Then this will be the type of weapon that I would highly recommend. Of course, I do love the European accents of this weapon. It looks very much like the SIG 232, and also the Makarov, which I think, of course, the PPK, which I think those are just real sexy guns. You know, those are just guns that have a tendency of being some of my favorites out there. And I'm just glad I was able to get this gun. And I'm gonna take it out to the range soon, guys, and hopefully do some video of it and tell you guys what the outcome was on this weapon system. But basically, guys, this is my review unboxing of the Bersa Firestorm. And of course, this is very similar to the Bersa Thunder, to include the magazine. But like I was telling you guys, there's a couple differences of features on this weapon system. Of course, you can find the Firestorm in other states, but I know that the state of California just recently started selling these guns back in 2014. And the reason why this gun was able to be sold is because this is the first platform that they created back in the day, so it did not need the micro stamping fiasco that the state requires. So because it's an older model gun, they were able to bring it back, so it does not require the micro stamping and all the other crap. But I am very happy with the purchase, and I can't wait to take it out to the range. And if you guys happen to run into a Firestorm, I would probably recommend this over the Thunder, because it seems to me like it has less of the little safeties that the other one has. And although I do like the 3-dot sight, dovetail is always seems to me one of my favorite sights for me. It's just I seem to be able to pick up the my target faster. But to each his own when it comes to guns, guys. Okay, guys, this is all I got for my review on the Bersa Firestorm. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like always, God bless you. God bless the United States of America, and I'm out.